I worked my butt off.
For 18 years, Courtney White was a sergeant with the Markham Police Department, and that's where she got her nickname.
I was the overtime queen at work, so all my overtime money went into my savings for my family.
To help those savings grow, Courtney set up a Chase bank account in 2001 with no debit card and no checks.
I deliberately had my savings account set up where I would have to walk into the bank to make transactions.
And that's what Courtney did every month for years to withdraw money for her son's allowance.
How much money had been in there up until that point?
Probably about $100,000, between 80 and 100.
But one day in the fall of 2022, Courtney heard the words many of us dread: insufficient funds. For the first time in months, she checked her account balance.
There were daily withdrawals, probably two to four every day, thousands of dollars.
She learned someone had been impersonating her, withdrawing a total of $87,000 from her Chase account, mostly in person at this Chase branch on 103rd Street. It happened for more than a year.
If you look at all of the withdrawal slips, you can clearly see the difference in the handwriting. So I don't know how they couldn't catch that.
Courtney filed a police report and has filed several fraud claims with Chase Bank since then, but all of them denied. The reason? Chase said she hadn't reported the fraud within 30 days of receiving her statement.
Somebody should have recognized that this is an outrageous amount of transactions every day. There should have been some sort of alert. I've never banked like that. And like I said, I've had Chase for 20 years.
NBC5 Response took a closer look at that Chase Bank branch on 103rd. Chicago police records show more than half a dozen Chase customers who used this branch reported unauthorized withdrawals on their accounts within the past few years. The scenarios described, all similar to Courtney's. The data also gave us more insight into what else was happening inside this Chase branch. We found more than a dozen Chase customers reported they were robbed or scammed while using the ATM inside the branch. Also frustrating, when it came to Courtney's case, she said Chase wouldn't provide any surveillance video to show who was making all of those withdrawals. In a statement, a Chase Bank spokesperson told NBC5 Response it reviewed Ms. White's case from 3 years ago and has not reversed its decision. In response to our questions about all the police reports filed at Courtney's Chase branch, they would only say the safety of our employees and customers is our top priority, and our security team works closely with local law enforcement to monitor and ensure that. But as a result of losing her life savings, Courtney says she had to make the heartbreaking decision to take her son out of private school.
I worked hard for that money. And that's what I did for a living, help people who are victims of crimes, fraud, and